Hey friends! Guess what? We're doing our very first tour, vegetable garden tour of the year. I know I've been MIA, but that's because we had a quick, sudden spring break, mini vacation, and I didn't have it planned, so I didn't have any videos to post. I also spent like my full 2 weekend days, almost 12 hours working on prepping the garden for that vacation. So last week was all spring break, we had a lot of fun, but now it's back to the garden. I've got so much to show you, so let's get started with the entrance. So now picture this. We have some morning glory climbing vines there. It's gonna be some pink floral that vines all along the arbor. On this bed is my potatoes. Can you see those? Oh my gosh. I'll link the video. These are the ones that were sprouting from potatoes I had at home that I purchased from the grocery store. They've all surfaced and they're doing so well. On the edges over here, I added some small zinnias, so those should trail out and that will give front of this bed some color. All along the edge here, I added some melons, just 4 different varieties, some smaller melons. I really want them to trail out along the side here. Disregard that, those are some extras that I had. But here we have some more melons, so I'm gonna have melons trailing out on both ends. This is gonna be the first time that I try zucchinis here, and I'm hoping that they do okay. This is the area of the garden that gets a lot of harsh winds, so I think they'll do well since they kind of lay and trail out. I might be able to stake them a little bit, but they don't come up too high unless you grow them vertically, so I'm not going to be doing that. I added in between some more zinnias for some color outside. I have a lot of volunteers here. These look to be marigolds. I have so many, so I'm probably going to pick those out and put those in my orchard. Stay tuned for that one because that's going to be my next video. I'm going to show you how the orchard is doing. This is some cilantro that I had from last year that survived the freeze. I'm letting it do its thing, and in the back you'll see all the other zucchinis I have. And then I added some more melons to trail out in the corners. We come back over here. Last year I did peppers, the sweet peppers. I'm gonna try it again this year. I am missing one that I need to add. I'm probably going to direct seed it here, but you'll see the peppers, they're gaining some more leaves there. These are the ones I started growing inside. They had some stunt problems because of our cold freeze. We didn't have heating and it was really cold inside, but they're coming back and I'm okay with that. And then I also have some florals here that are going to trail out. This bed, I had trouble figuring out what I wanted to do, but I do have some eggplant and I have my mammoth sunflower that seems to love it. The other sunflower that was here last year did so well and I decided to do it again. And then I have some cherry tomatoes on each end that can trail out, just because I just love all the tomatoes that I can add. And then I have a lot of volunteer sunflowers, I believe, the ones that I had before. So I'm going to pull these out because they will not do good here. It's going to be too many sunflowers everywhere. This blue Victoria salvia was over there behind the peppers that I had last year. I moved it over here and it survived the freeze and I think it's loving it. We'll see. It's 4 of them there. I decided to do that just because I didn't know which one was going to make it. Here I added a bunch of beans, and then in the center I'm gonna add a trellis of some sort. I don't have it yet, but it's coming, just so that I can have it nice and pretty there on the corner. If I turn over here, I have all my onions, if you can see them. I split them individually and lay them out, And then over here on the side I have some petunias that are growing, and these are purple. So I think it's gonna look really nice here on the edge. And then I also put some more flowering annuals. Those are snapdragons of different colors. They did well here last year, so I decided it was a good option to put them there again. And then now we're starting with the watermelons, because the watermelons are mainly on the next bed. I had some celery, and I think they'll do good in this corner because it doesn't get as much sun. It should get some shade from the snapdragons, maybe a little bit on the onions, but maybe it'll keep it cooler and it'll survive longer. This bed was really meant for tons of squash, zucchinis. I have all the varieties. A lot of them I've never eaten before, but this is the perfect time to do it. And then all along the edge I have my watermelons. Let me scoot over here. And I want them to trail out. I know it's not the best, but at least I get to grow a couple of watermelons per vine, and hopefully this gets filled up with just that. I have to really maintain those vines because it's gonna get pretty crazy. And with the zucchinis on top, it's gonna be wild. I've already expect that, but I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. In the back I have the okra and the eggplant. So I have okra, eggplant on the corners, and in the center I have some stalks. I believe that's what they are. And then I had an extra zucchini, so I decided to put her there as well. I had zucchini here before and it did okay, so I think we should give it a try again. Added some more watermelon, and I'm not sure what that is, but it's another colorful thing. My peppers are here, I promise. If you look closely. They struggled a bit, but I think they're getting past their transplant shock, and hopefully they do well. This is all my hot peppers. I had hot peppers here last year and I didn't have another place for them that I thought was a good spot, so I decided to do it again, and let's just see how it goes. And then one last watermelon on the side, and then don't know what I put in the corner. I actually put one in the center as well. I need to go back and see what that is. Now for the most exciting part that's like really green is this side. I'm gonna show you. First of all, the kale that I picked up after the freeze has survived. These survived the freeze too. This is an annual. I don't know what it is either. Totally forgot. Comment below if you know what it is. And then I have some lemon balm there as well. Okay, let me show you. But I'm gonna pull back here just so you see all the other stuff that I had still here, and it survived me not being here for a whole week. Now I can see things can survive without getting watered. All right, so here we go. I have some green. I have more green on this side because I've been doing this for a little bit longer. Okay, let me show you the part that doesn't have green first. This is all my tomatoes. My husband built these for me the weekend I was trying to do everything before our vacation, and I'm gonna add those on these two beds as well, just to leave it there for any other trailing things that I put. But for the tomatoes, it's gonna be very helpful to have something to tie them to. So I'm just gonna make sure that I keep up with the pruning. This is a bean that's going to be trailing with the cherry tomatoes. I have 2 cherry tomatoes on each side, so I'm hoping that I can trail one in the inside and then trail a second one in the outside of each one. And if you want to know all the varieties that I have, I did a layout and I'll link it here so you can see what these tomatoes are going to be. In the middle here, I'll put some basil, and then a nice color, a zinnia jazzy mix. So that's going to be the focal point coming out of this bed. So I added some cherry tomatoes here that will also trail out. This is the oregano that survived the freeze. I think I already have some spider mite issues, so I need to start working on my pests. But I wanted to show you this one. This is my first chive that I grow, and it's the first bloom of the year. Isn't that great? Okay, so on this side we have the same thing. We have 2 tomatoes on each side and the same bean. This one's actually much larger than this one, which is surprising. I think because it's cooler over here. I have a nasturtium that will trail out on this side, and then all my sugar snap peas along the edge. Finally, the AC. My husband built these. I'm so thankful that he did that. These are made of cedar wood and cattle panel. And I also have all my carrots. Don't they look so beautiful? I'm excited about that row over there because those are the really big giant carrots, the long ones at least. And then over here I have beets, 2 different kinds, a red beet and a golden beet. A lot of them are bunched up together, but I really love the greens, and I'm more focused on the greens than the actual beet itself. So I might leave it like this, I might not. I don't know yet. This is one of my favorite beds so far just because it is the most active bed. It's got a lot of things. Over here on this side, the arch is gonna have cucumbers. So we're doing the same thing, doing 2 different types on each side. And then I have some trailing nasturtiums that will trail out of the corner. I think that's gonna make this corner look really pretty. And nasturtiums like the cooler weather, so I think they'll do way better in the summer. But all the peas are starting to pick up on the trellis, which it happened the next day after he installed them. So I'm so excited we caught it on time. Then we have strawberries. Oh my gosh, don't my strawberries look so good? I think they are adorable. I love how they look, and they are thriving here. I snuck here a broccoli just to see how it would do. I know it's gonna get pretty big, but I think it will shade some of these that need a little bit shade later. And I have some strawberries. Birds were picking on it before the freeze. Hopefully I get to keep some. And then this one grew back. I cut it back, I didn't pull the roots, and it just came back with a vengeance. So it's mixed in here with my cilantro. I have quite a few cilantro growing here. I added the peas all the way along the edge, thinking that they would trail out, but they're just grabbing on to those other ones. And then I snuck in a cauliflower just to see what these 2 would do. Look at my garlic. Isn't it beautiful? I keep saying that, but I love it all. Same thing with the cucumbers here and a runner bean in the middle. I did add some daisies here, but I don't think that was a good option. I'm gonna have to replace them. I knew they were too small and they're probably not getting enough water from this drip. So I have to hand water those. So I'll add some more there. Every single clove of garlic that I planted made it through, and a lot of it is just getting really big. Some of the small ones that I knew were gonna be small still look pretty good. I mean, this was a little garlic clove and it's pretty big. Every single one came out. So I'm so proud of it, being my first time. Over here in this corner, I added a sunflower. It's the only other sunflower I have in this area. I had so many sunflowers last year, and I learned that they turn in the direction where the sun is coming from, and that's this side. So basically, when I walked in the alley, they weren't facing me, and I didn't like that. I loved looking at sunflowers. I love having sunflowers, but I really wanted them to be in all directions, and it wasn't gonna happen. So I'm doing something different. I'm adding them on the other side, so many, and only adding a couple here in these beds. I added 2 bush beans just so that they come out on this side. I had one more and it didn't do so well, but it might still make it, I'm not sure. And a tomato, just because I had one last year and it still did good, and maybe it will do well this time around. We'll see. I still have a lot of cleanup, and I'm gonna adjust some things that aren't doing so well. just a couple, but everything else survived. Oh man, I spent so many hours trying to get it all ready, and I come back and it's thriving. Anyways, I almost forgot. Let me show you how my window baskets are doing and the little wagon that I have. Everything is growing. I had a zinnia here, but I think something smashed it, so I'm gonna have to replace it. But these are zinnias that are going to trail out. These are the window baskets. I have some shade here, but I think you can see them. I think I'm gonna have to replant the others that I put here in the corner because they're not coming up. Probably have to grow those inside before I put them out. They're all there. And these are all the extras that I didn't get a chance to plant. I soaked them before I left and put them in the grow lights. I came back and they're all doing so well. The soil was rock solid hard, but they made it through, and now they're out here waiting to be transplanted. So the next thing that's coming is the orchard tour, and we have April that's coming up. So I'm going to be doing what to do in April. I'm also going to be talking about my worm castings, or my worm farm, because it's time to harvest, and we have some more stuff coming. Stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey friends. Oh, I forgot.